Confession, I used to be a wreck at the end of ski season. My calves would be super tight, even though my quads and glutes would be very powerful. Then trail running season would happen. Eventually, my calves would loosen up, I'd get those ankles nice and strong and mobile again, but my hip flexors would get really tight and my glute and quad gains would disappear. So I'd feel like I lost all my mojo when ski season came around again. I would have my sciatica flare up if I overdid things, and it would feel like I just wasn't making progress year after year. But after paying special attention to my body, trying new things, and researching a lot, I learned these 4 secrets that can help you be adventure ready all year long, even if you're training for specific sports or events. I remember sitting in a lecture hall and being taught that if you train a runner like a power lifter, they're gonna get slower at running. I made the mistaken jump to assume that that same concept applied to me, even though most of the sports I was doing at that point were recreational, and I enjoy a different sport every season and also learning new sports all the time. The truth is, I'm not the top 1% of the 1% of runners or skiers or any other sport I enjoy. And so I do not need to be excluding certain categories of working out for fear of losing other physical capabilities. I want to be able to do a variety of activities at a pretty good level because that allows me to have a maximum amount of fun. So now I complete 1 workout a week that makes sure I hit 5 different physical capabilities that allow me to play a variety of sports, reduce overall injury risk, and stay healthy. And because it takes way less of a stimulus to maintain a physical capability compared to the amount it takes to improve it, I only have to do 1 workout a week that helps me maintain my capabilities. I call this my adventure ready workout. Now, we'll talk about how I decide what to do for that workout after tip number 3. But first, let's talk about secret number 2. I realized this secret when I was moving plywood. I never used to count movement outside the gym as training. And then one day, my husband needed help moving, I don't even know how many plywood sheets for some cabinets that he was building. And so I popped on, well, I still had my heart rate monitor on from a jog I had done, so I left it on while we were moving plywood, and I realized how hard I was working just to keep up with him. Without recognizing it, I was in zone 2 the entire time, and I was actually cross-training. So the truth is, your work, your life, your other recreation counts as training. Your muscles aren't making sure that you're only lifting dumbbells before they get stronger or bigger. Any stimulus in your life can cause physical change. Because of that, you need to account for these things that you're doing in your life when you're talking about your weekly training plan. And that leads to secret number 3, which might seem at first to contradict point number 1, but it doesn't at all. Lots of clients, when they first come to me, they talk about how they tried a little bit of this program and then a little bit of that program, and nothing seemed to work. And oftentimes, the first thing we do is we try focusing on one goal, one change to begin with, before we move on to the next thing. Because the truth is, even though variety is amazing for maintaining our physical capabilities, it takes real focus to get change to those capabilities initially. Think about how much work it actually is for your body to, say, add muscle fibers to your biceps. If you do 2 sets of bicep curls one day and then never do biceps curls again, your body is not going to lay down more muscle tissue. So you need to tell your body day in and day out what needs to happen, the changes that you want it to make. So even though once a week I do that adventure ready workout, I spend the rest of my week focused hard on the one change I want to make to my body, whether that's adding muscle to my body, getting more powerful, getting stronger, or getting more strength endurance. And I've got to stick to my guns between 3 and 6 weeks to start making those changes in my body. So my workout structure ends up looking like this. I'll spend 2 to 4 strength workouts per week, focused on that one adaptation I want to make. And then at the end of the week, I take a look back. I look at the workouts I did, I look at the recreation I did, and the things that happened in everyday life and work. And any of the physical capabilities that I didn't hit yet, I focus on in my adventure ready workout. Now, we actually have an entire ebook on this process if you want to geek out with me on it, and I'll link to that in the description below. But it leads us to our final secret, and that actually has to do with not working out at all. The one way that I did used to think I was different than elite athletes was that they were training way more than me, so clearly they needed more rest than I did. And I still hear and see some trainers saying that their clients don't actually need rest weeks or easier weeks because they'll miss a week here and there due to sickness or a busy life or work stress. I could not disagree more. Not only are those reasons for missing a week of working out stress on the body, but I have personally seen higher compliance with my clients when I tell them that there's a deload week or an easier week coming on their program schedule. To complete a deload week, we like to keep the intensity of our workouts the same, but reduce our training volume. This way, you're still telling your body, these are the changes I want you to make, but you're reducing the overall training load and stress on the body so it actually has the resources to make those structural changes. I now move more quickly from sport to sport and season to season while feeling just more joy in movement the entire year, and I find that that's thanks to these 4 secrets. If you've got any questions about this or how it applies to you, pop them in the comment box below and have a wilder week.